Chapter 14, More of the Same. I rode with Unique in the middle of the night. We parked on the street next to Unique's house, facing into the neighborhood from the outskirts. Suddenly, an hour after we first parked to talk, we both stopped talking. Unique and I shared glances at each other in the moment of silence. I had a bad feeling. I could tell Unique had a bad feeling as well. We both listened carefully in the night. The car windows were down. Until that moment, the two of us heard nothing in the silence but our own conversation. We didn't speak. We both heard it. It was coming closer. We whispered to each other, "What's that?" "I don't know, but it's coming." "Get as low as you can in your seat." I slid down as low as I could get while still being able to see over the dashboard. It was coming fast. It sounded like it was coming from a side street. As the screeching of the tires and roar of the engine broke through, the car slid out into the road 2 streets up from where Unique had parked her car. The car skidded around the corner to face us and accelerate in our direction. From where I was, I saw 2 silhouettes in the front seats of the dark sedan. Under the streetlight, I clearly saw the third person. He was out of the window of the back door, seated in the space of the rolled-down window. On his face, a wild-eyed stare. In his hand, a gun. I watched as the car completed the turn 2 blocks up from us. "Is that a gun?" "Yes, get down." The engine roared as the driver accelerated. The car sped up and drove directly at the car parked a block in front of Unique and me. At the last second, the car pulled back to the center of the road. It flew past the parked car. Again, the driver accelerated directly toward the next parked car on the next block, Unique's car, where Unique and I were both watching while slumped down in the front seats. Again, at the last second, the driver swerved and avoided hitting Unique's car directly head-on. The car cut back into the middle of the road to rip past us. Unique and I were both frozen. It all happened so fast we couldn't react. I hadn't even been able to fully duck down in the seat. I just watched as the car with the guy hanging out the side window flew by and kept driving. A second later, the tires screeched again as the car turned out of the neighborhood behind us. I heard the engine fade off into the night as the car sped off. In my mind, I kept that image of the guy with the gun. His eyes, wide and crazy, seemed to focus on nothing as he stared ahead into the night. His body swayed each time the car swerved toward and away from the parked cars on the street. The gun in his hand, the noises coming from the car's tire and engine, the sheer instant chaos which broke through that silent night in that empty neighborhood. Unique and I snapped out of it. We both knew that we urgently needed to get away from there. I had a hotel room situated between Aurora and Denver. Damian knocked on the door while I was in the middle of tattooing myself. I put the tattoo equipment away and began heavy drug use with my new friend. We made some videos that first night. The next day we walked through the city to another hotel. The two of us stayed 2 nights in that second hotel, and then I decided I needed to make a change. I thought back to the day before, when I used a ride service to travel from the hotel in Aurora to Unique's uncle's auto shop in Denver, then back to Aurora. The trip cost $50 each way. If I rented a car, the car would cost that much per day. The rental made sense. Damian's sister picked Damian and me up from the hotel and brought us back to her apartment. I made some phone calls. Car service took Damian and me to the Denver airport. After I filled out the proper paperwork, the two of us loaded into the rental car and left for the city. I rented the car for the following week. I was mobile again. Damian and I were on the highway loop one afternoon in Denver rush hour traffic. The roads in Denver were beyond congested during peak hours. All lanes of traffic were packed on the highways. All exit ramps were backed up. Many stoplights required waiting through multiple cycles of light changes before passing through the intersections. My GPS map wasn't displaying a correct route to get through the city. After a half hour of frustrated driving, I ended up looping around and stopping at the same red light where we had stopped a half hour earlier. My patience was wearing thin. Damian noticed and he took the opportunity to try to make me angry. Anytime I said anything, Damian replied abrasively, seeking a rise out of me. "Aw man, we were just at this light a half hour ago. You don't know how to read the map." "Yeah, I do. I showed you how it looped us back around." "Nope, it's you. You don't know what you're doing." "Seriously? I don't have the patience for this." "It's you. You can't read the map." "Dude, I'm serious. I'll drop you off on the side of this highway." The stop-and-go traffic was unrelenting. The negative replies to everything I said were as frustrating as the traffic. Our words escalated and became more heated. Damian was trying to get under my skin. It worked. 5 minutes later, I pulled to the shoulder at the top of a busy overpass. As I slammed on the brakes, Damian flung open his car door and jumped out to the road. I drove forward in the slow traffic. I saw Damian in my mirror. Damian walked down the side of the overpass to the road below. I shook my head while I drove away. Once I pulled into my storage unit a half hour later, I checked my phone. I called Damian and Damian picked up. I apologized for my role in the escalation of our conversation and I offered to swing back into the city and pick him up. Damian apologized as well. He told me he wanted to see how mad he was able to make me. I told him I could be back that way in 30 minutes. Damian politely declined.